Hey everyone, it's Maria here, makeup artist and green beauty expert located in Toronto, Canada. Today I'm gonna do an eye-popping look for you. It's this one here. I added a fresh pop of green to welcome the spring and the warmer weather, and also to show you that it is possible to add something fresh, something vibrant to the eyes, regardless of how old you are. For those of you who are wondering, I'm 47 years old, and I love adding a slight pop of color along with a neutral makeup look otherwise that you could wear at any point in your day. So we're gonna add these quad of colors here today to the look, with the star player being this pure Anada mineral eyeshadow in meadow. All right, so let's get to the look. So before we get started, I want to let you know that I've done my base. I used the Pure Anada Tinted Moisturizer in the shade Light all over my face, and I also added a couple drops of oil into that to just create a really nice nourished base. I made a video about this, how to do foundation if you are over 40. I'm going to link that here for you and below in the description. The Pure Anada Tinted Moisturizer, and then I added a little bit of concealer around the eye area. I locked all of that in with the sheer matte pressed foundation from Pure Anada, again in the shade Light. And then I also did my brows using the Plume Science products. I used the brow gel as well as the pomade in Ashy Daybreak, and that is it. I have a little bit of lip balm on my lips. So let's get started doing this eye-popping look for the spring. I always get, questions from mature clients on how to add a pop of color. So there are two ways to do that. One is to add a pop of color to your eyes if you want to make the eyes the focal point of your makeup. If you're feeling tired, if you don't sleep well, if you are in the menopausal years and your sleep is disturbed and you don't want to have the focus on the eyes, I'm going to give you the tip, which is the number 2 tip, on how to get that on your lips, okay? But I feel like it's nice to have both because then you can choose. You can decide one day that, you know what, yes, you are well rested. Yes, you want to accentuate the eyes. Perhaps, the eyes are your favorite feature and you want to play that up. So because it's spring, I'm going to add a really refreshing pop of green to the eyes today. My eyes are kind of like a greenish blue shade. They tend to change color sometimes depending on my mood and even the time of day. I am filming again in front of a window. It's a beautiful sunny day today. And I feel like this is the best way for you to see what my skin really looks like in natural light. I tried filming in my basement, and to tell you the truth, I hated it. There's some videos, from some months back filming, in front of that light. And if you prefer that, please let me know in the comments. I feel like in front of the window, it just always kind of makes my heart sing, especially if it's a beautiful, bright day. So my first way, quick way to apply a pop of color on the face, on an otherwise bare face, would be with a vibrant lip color. I find that this is the easiest way to apply color without fussing with brushes and blending eyeshadows, etc. So this one here, first up, we have the Vintage Lipstick by Tin Feather. I love this shade. It's like a hot pink, almost like a vibrant fuchsia. So you can see it's quite bold. I love it. Such a quick little way to do this. Especially if you're in a rush and you don't have time to be doing the second way of adding a pop of color, which will be to the eyes. So this here is the Personal Magnetic Refillable Compact by Pure Anada. I have popped some shades that I want to use today in here. But the key player here for this eye-popping look is going to be Meadow. And Meadow is a beautiful, almost like emerald green. It's I find that it's a lot, I guess, more fresh, almost like the shade of like really healthy grass. Next to it, I also have a crew. You can see how gorgeous the two of them look together. These two shades are, very opposite, I feel, but like, look how gorgeous they look. So you can see here, I paired up Meadow with a lot of other kind of like neutrals, right? So I'm gonna start this eye look using Ecru as my base color, and then we'll do a tiny bit of Harvest Moon. This is one of my favorite shades, and perhaps a little bit of Whisper for the brow bone. This is a bronzer here, but we don't have to necessarily use it for this look. But if you wanted to keep everything else neutral and more on the warm side, and then give that fresh pop of green underneath the eye, and I just gave it away. That's where I'm going to put it, perhaps a little bit in the inner corner. Then it's nice to just keep everything a little bit neutral. So I have a double-ended brush here. I have a few different brushes. This is just, I picked up this one from a beauty supply. I love it because it has two ends, and so does this one here by Pure Anada, except that the one side here has an angled brush where this one here is rounded, and I really love a brush like this for doing the eyes. If you want to pick up something like this from the store, the Pure Anada Everyday Eye Brush is very similar. This is the Duo Eye Brush, and I love it for pressing on, you know, packing on a color as a base, and then also doing a bit of liner, or, you know, kind of shading in the eye line. So many different uses. But yeah, try to get double-ended brushes when you can, because it's going to, you know, save you so much clutter in your makeup bag. So I'm going to take a Ecru, and I'm just going to use the Duo Eye Brush. And I'm just going to pack it. I'm just pushing it down onto my eyelid. That's been prepped, by the way, with the concealer. So I always use concealer to prep the eyelid. And I'm going to take this color like all the way up to the crease and bring it a tiny bit into the inner corner. So Ecru is a beautiful, like, warm, peachy shade. I like this one because it's actually matte. So if you don't like the really shimmery eyeshadows, Ecru is a beautiful base color, especially because it is matte. And if you have blue eyes or green eyes, you will find that shades like this, like Ecru, really help your eye pop, because they are a little bit warmer, and with a cooler eye color, it's just really, really nice. Now that I've done that, I was going to use Harvest Moon, but I'm having some doubts that it might be too dark. I might switch it for this one here. This one here is Sahara. You can see it's not as rich. So because I want the green to be the star here, I think perhaps Sahara will be a little bit better. Let's see what this looks like. And then, you know, you can always darken it. So I always feel like go a little bit lighter. And then if you feel like darkening it a little bit, it's easier to go from light to dark. It's always harder to go from dark to light. So I'm going to take a little bit of Sahara with this rounded tipped brush. And I'm just going to start creating a bit of shape here. Oh yeah, this is perfect. This is a really nice kind of light brown. The warm shades are always so easy to work with. I find that they are, you know, foolproof. So I like moving it, you know, back and forth, like right above the eyeball there. So it's essential that you get a little brush like this that can fit in here. I'm going to link some of them below for you. And a lot of people ask me like what to do on this outer corner here. I don't want anything dramatic, so I'm not going to take it out and do like anything sharp here. So let's just curve it down towards the lash line, because I am going to do a bit of pencil and just move it into the lashes here. Just blending it as I go. So that kind of creates a more rounded outside here, a more rounded design to the eye. But make sure that you keep everything above the bottom lash line. What do you think? Okay, so just make sure that it's blended really nicely. Then after that, okay, we're gonna go in with the Pure Anada brown eye pencil here. I'm sorry that it's so small. I always try to use my pencils right down to, you know, the very last little bit. And as long as I can sharpen it, I'm using it. With this liner here, I'm gonna start emphasizing the lash line. I'm just gonna do little strokes. Now, don't worry if it's not a straight line, because that's where that angle brush comes in. We're gonna just smooth it all out, but just make sure that you're really getting into those lashes. You want it as close as possible. And we don't want like, you know, a thick eyeline here, unless that's something that you really love and you're good at it, then go for it. I just want this to look as natural as possible on the top, so then that green really pops out when we do it, okay? So I'm gonna take the angled side here, and I'm just gonna push my pencil in and smooth it out. And then here, you know, if you feel like your pencil doesn't stay in place, you could take a tiny bit of that eyeshadow, the Harvest Moon that we decided not to use. And I'm gonna just go and press it right onto the lash line. Okay, so now that this is looking nice and natural, very, very simple eye here. You could do this for the daytime, but we're doing a pop today. So it's not this kind of makeup look that we're going after. I am gonna go in and start adding Meadow. Now, I said before that Meadow is this like beautiful, fresh green. If a teal or like an aquamarine is more your thing, this one here is gorgeous too. This is Reef, but you can tell that this is a little bit more blue. This one here, I think, is like, I love this one in the summer too. What am I saying? But I want to go for this one today. So we have this beautiful sunlight coming through. You can see that both of these are gorgeous. If you love them, you know, pick up 2 shades like that. There's so many other ways to add a pop of color. You know, you could even do with a wet brush a line on the top, but we're doing the line underneath today. So I'm going to clean off my angle brush, and then I'm going to go in with my Pure Anada Duo Eye Brush, and I'm going to start pressing into this green here. And where we're putting it is underneath your lashes. So this is a powder. So we're not going to go into the waterline, but we're going to go just underneath our lash line here, our lashes, and kind of start pressing this along this line here. You don't want it to be too thick. I mean, play around the first time you do it. Okay, and then with this, the other end of this duo eye brush, I'm just gonna go and kind of diffuse it a tiny bit. Okay, it's very subtle, but when someone looks at you close up, there's definitely a nice pop there, and it looks very fresh. I'm just gonna fade it a tiny bit. Okay, and then I'm gonna use the Pure Anada Natural Mascara to do a nice coat of mascara on my lashes. And a tiny little coat of mascara on the bottom. I don't want to take away from the freshness of the green, so I'm not going to load them up. So that's the look. I'm going to go do the other side and I'll be right back. Okay, everyone, so the other side is completed. So let's finish off this look. What would we do on the cheek and on the lips? The lips, if you want the eyes to be the star here with this little green pop underneath, you could do something very nude. This is the Warm Nude by Pure Anada. You can do a simple lip and line it up. I love the shade on its own. You can see that it's really subtle, lets the eyes, you know, play up the color. Or you could go put on a lipstick on top of that. I'm running out of my velour here. This is again by Tin Feather. It's a beautiful warm nude. It matches the lip pencil perfectly. And you could leave it at that. Now for the cheeks. Okay, so now that I see the look like this, I think definitely a bronzer. So I am going to go in with Bronze Clove. Again, this is a no-name brush, but Pure Anada has one that's identical with bamboo handle, synthetic bristles. I'm going to link all of these below for you. And I'm just going to pick up a little bit of the Bronze Clove. And if you remember, this was the bronzer that we had in the compact here. And you could go and like warm up the forehead a little bit if you have a high forehead like myself. And then you can just warm up the cheek. I'm gonna keep the blush high up because that's where I love it. And anything that is still on the brush, you can bring it down your nose. You can bring it down your jawline, and you can even warm up the neck if you seem to be, you know, more pale there. If you wanted to finish it up and let's say, for example, pick up a little compact like that and fill it in with your favorite shades or the shades from this look, I would take Whisper, a little bit of Whisper, and you can add it as a brow highlighter here. You can add a tiny bit on the tip of your nose if that's a thing that you like. And then that way you complete the compact along with the bronzer. Okay. So what do you think? Age appropriate and fresh for the spring? I think so. So this is the completed look. I hope you like it. I hope you're going to replicate it. Please let me know in the comments if you love the pop of green. I feel like it makes my face just light up and it makes my eyes look so much more awake. I want to do another video for you to show you how to play up your eye color. Keep, watching for that one. I'll do that one next. I love greens and I love aquas, but I sometimes feel like they're not the best color for my eyes, but that will be the story for another video. I want to thank you again so much for being here and following along this look with me. And if you loved it, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more clean makeup and skincare tips right here. All right? Take care, everyone.